And I will read her introduction. Marianne, DTM3, will be giving her speech from the pathway Effective Coaching, Level 1, Research and Presenting. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Marianne will be sharing a true story of an unusual miracle. The time for this speech will be 5 to 7 minutes, and the title, Love, Honor, and Cherish. Please welcome Marianne with Love, Honor, and Cherish.
Hello, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. How many of you have a pet that you love, honor, and cherish? Well, about 3/4 of the homes in the United States have dearly beloved pets. Now, for some people, their pets are their family. And for some people, they prefer to be with their pet than their family. Now, the top 5 pets are dogs, cats, fish, birds, and horses. But not everybody prefers the conventional animals. Like my daughter Kim, she loves geckos. Now you may be thinking, what's a gecko? Well, if you remember the Geico commercials with the cute little green fella with the Cockney English accent, that's a gecko. But truth be known, geckos don't have a Cockney English accent, nor do they speak English. In fact, they scarcely make sounds at all. Now, I don't know why my daughter was drawn to geckos. Maybe we took her to Florida too many times and she chased after those little green lizards in the sand. I don't know. But one day my daughter decided she was going to buy some geckos. But before she did a lot of research about geckos. She found out what they like to eat, what temperature they like to be in, type of housing they enjoy. And then when she felt like she learned everything she could, she went out and bought a cage that looked like a terrarium. She put nice bedding down, some logs, some shells, rocks, and a couple feeding bowls. And then she went out and bought 2 geckos. Now, they weren't the green ones like the gecko commercials. They were called leopard geckos. And you can see why they would call it that. Now, you would think with a gecko, she wouldn't be that up close and personal as you would be with a dog or a cat, but not so. She would hold the geckos in her hands and pet them and kiss them and carry them on her shoulder like you would with a dog or a kitty. She adored her geckos. Now, we used to go visit her after a class that we taught on the East Side. And at that point in time, she lived in Willoughby Hills. This particular evening, we came over to visit, and she had just gotten home from work. She walked in the door, she said her hellos, and then she went directly up to the loft to say hello to her geckos and to feed them their favorite meal, live crickets doused with vitamins. And her crickets' names, by the way, were Abba and Bean. Well, she was only gone for a few moments when we heard this blood-curdling sound from upstairs. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Now understand, my daughter's a Pisces. She's very sensitive and she's been known to be a little bit of a drama queen. But this sound was blood-curdling. So my husband and I ran upstairs and we saw our daughter standing there. She was disturbed, distressed, and distraught. She was shaking. She couldn't say a word. And all she could do was point into the cage. So my husband and I peered into the cage. And oh my gosh, immediately we knew why she was so upset. You see, little Bean, who had been this long, was now only about this long. The poor little guy looked like a little gecko gimp hobbling around on the bottom of the cage. It was so sad. And I don't know what was worse, watching the poor little guy hobble around or wonder what happened to that 3 or 4 inch tail that was nowhere to be seen. Oh. Well, we did our best to calm our daughter down, and eventually she did. And then she began to think more clearly. And she remembered that in all the information she had read, that geckos have a very unique quality. If they're being chased by prey, they can actually pop off their tail. The tail keeps wiggling, and the prey follow the tail, and the gecko literally gets away from it with its life. So we prayed that her gecko was one of those types of geckos. Sure enough, it was. At first, there was just a little discolored nub on his behind, but very slowly it started to grow a little longer, a little wider, and the spots started to form on the back. And believe it or not, after a number of weeks or months, the little gecko was back to his full length. Now, it was strange because he never looked quite the same. His coloring was a little bit different. But oh my gosh, what a miracle of nature. And my daughter went out and bought another cage and split the two of them because she was never going to go through that ever again. So, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, if you have dearly beloved pets, be sure that you learn everything you can about the care of your pets so that you can love, honor, and cherish them, and they in turn will love, honor, and cherish you. Madam Toastmaster. So I'd like to thank everyone for our open house event that we did have a couple of months ago, and especially for Anna, because she really whipped that event together, and I think she really pulled it off in a beautiful way. And I want to thank, of course, everybody else that contributed to it, because it takes a lot of hands to make something come forth as successfully as our event did. And the year is moving on, and I want to see if we can up our game a little bit. We actually have 7 more meetings till the end of the year. So we have to see what we can do to finish off the year in a wonderful style. And so I hope everybody got the outline that I sent online. So number 2 is, do we want to do a Halloween party or a possible open house? I know in the past we have done an open house. We've had Larry Sapansky come. I don't even know if he's available, but what are your thoughts or feelings around Halloween party versus a Halloween open house? Any thoughts?
Would you want like some Halloween games to go to the Halloween, as somebody knows a good Halloween story that they're working on? And I know
Are you planning, excuse me, would you be planning to have that the 3rd Thursday in October, on October,
Yeah, it's kind of early.
what is it? October
Yeah.
17? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be in California then. So unfortunately, I won't be able to attend.
Okay. And that's in person, so you can't come online, even if you had a few moments, but okay. All right, so we certainly do games or stories. I know we usually dress up as well, which is always kind of fun. We even bring snacks on that day. So do you want to just leave it as a club party and just go with that?
See,
Thoughts?
since it's only like a little over a month away, it might be just easy just to have a regular Halloween, just a Halloween meeting. But if somebody has a Halloween speech they want to do, we can do something like that too.
Okay, well, we should put that out there. If anybody has anything along those lines, that would be fun. We can certainly put that as a consideration. Okay, number 3, membership. That's something we definitely need to work. Obviously, Kathleen sounded like she was going to rejoin, which sounds wonderful. I'm excited about that. But I know we're going to lose, who's your friend that has been in our club for a while and then had to drop out for a while, but he joined and then he wasn't able to come to any of our meetings.
Ron,
Pardon me?
Ron,
Ron, yes, thank you. Totally forgot that. So I know we're gonna be losing him. So, and Anita has said that she's not going to sign up for a 6-week period or 6-month period and hopefully rejoin another later. So we do need to, and again, unless we can twist her arm, which anybody who wants to twist it, go for it. But anyways, we really do need to work on membership in any form or any way that we can think about that will draw more people in. So if anybody has any ideas, suggestions, thoughts, I know I was making up flyers to pass out to the members of the club to put in coffee shops and whatnot. And I did that a number of times, and I don't know that we've really drawn a lot of people in that manner. We've had such beautiful, successful open houses, but for some reason, people just aren't coming through. So I don't know what we want to do in regard to that. So anybody have any thoughts on that?
and actually I'm thinking when you and I visited Rotary, nothing really came of that either. So
Well, something I thought about, and I know some of you are aware that at Unity, they have a once a month program where they have like a lunch, and it's called Lunch and Learn, and different people come in and talk about whatever they want to share. And I did do that for Toastmasters. So I was curious if different libraries would be open to having a meeting where someone would come in and speak about Toastmasters, and that might be a way to draw people in. And I've already got the talk, so I'd be more than happy to do it, but I would have to contact a couple of the local libraries and see if they were open to that. So that's one thing.
well, Anna's got a name that we've used at the Porter Library, Westlake Library, West Side Library, that we've used with the Advanced Club. But I don't know if she'd be the one to talk to or not. They go, maybe Anna could get that name for us.
The gal that she knows, that's a good idea. Okay, I will talk to her about that. Yep.
I know I could probably see if down at Rocky River Library. Now Rocky River Library does have a club that meets down there
Yes.
on Monday nights.
Okay, and I could probably check.
We could still put a flyer down in the library.
Sure,
know,
yeah, and I usually
Monday-
periodically do drop them off in different areas, so I'll see if I can make up more flyers to pass out for our next meeting.
I don't think Lakewood has a club. Like Lakewood Library might be a good resource.
Yeah, I already marked down Lakewood because I live in Lakewood, so I can do that. Okay, but thank you for that suggestion.
See, I live in Rocky River, so I could easily go down there.
Okay. And Louise, I know I gave you some of the forms to make copies. Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't.
You did not, don't, because I did. And after I did them, I thought, oh gosh, I think I gave these to Louise. I hope, well, not that we'd have it. But you don't have to worry about that because I took care of that. Okay, so moving on to the next part, and that would be a Christmas meeting. And we oftentimes have a Christmas party, which I'm always in favor of, which we also bring snacks, and we usually do a white elephant kind of exchange where we have a game associated with that. So if anybody has any other thoughts about what we could do for the Christmas meeting that might change things up a little bit, please, throw those out there. Does anybody have any other thoughts around the Christmas party before we move on? Okay.
I was gonna say, would you want more, instead of just snacks, would you want maybe more of a potluck, maybe a little dinner along with the meeting?
Let's see.
I think we did that one time, but not.
Yeah, we did that for Thanksgiving one year, I believe. I
I
think
don't know.
it's a nice idea. My only concern is everybody is always so involved with so many things, and it's the 19th, which is fairly close to Christmas, that maybe we could do like a potluck some other time where it's not quite so busy.
Or how about a cookie exchange?
Well, the challenge with cookies exchange is so many people are trying to eat healthy. So I'm not sure if that's a good idea. But we could bring some cookies.
Since everybody's like has a lot going on with food and things like that, what if everybody brings in like a random object from their house and we put it in a box? And so table topics is like a white elephant exchange, and
We usually
like pull
do-
something out.
we
And
usually,
then, I mean, you don't have to keep it, but like just pull it out and have to come up with your table topic.
yeah, we usually do that, but we do wrap it so nobody knows what it is until they've, what do we usually do, Louise? We have them
Oh,
open and then they talk about it.
might play a game and we talk about it, something like that. We'll put them on a table and they can choose the wrappings that they like the best or something like that. And then they open it up and they can talk about it and see what you might use it for or something like that, or
Right.
you
And
can just kind of go offline too and tell a story about it.
And then, Carolyn, what we normally do as well is, let's say I had a gift and I talked about it, and then it's Yvonne's turn, and Yvonne decides she likes my gifts. She can choose my gift instead of picking another gift. So sometimes it can be kind of playful and fun along those lines. But yeah, we will definitely do that. Okay, so moving on to the next piece on the agenda is the secretary position, because if we can't twist Anita's arm, we will need a replacement for her as the secretary position. So we'll have to be thinking along the lines of that, and I could put out a email in that regard to secretary. So any conversation around that?
Carolyn, would you be interested in being the secretary? I just say because you're very thorough and it seems like it would be a fun thing to do. I know Shugata was interested, but I think she had a hard time taking notes at the last meeting. So, but I thought Carolyn might do a good job if she's interested. I don't know.
I'll stay with you during, let's connect at the next meeting of like what you have to do. A backup, I think Kathleen would be a really good secretary because she seems to be a non-procrastinator. But yeah, I'll sit with you. You're going to the next in-person meeting, right? I'll sit with you and go over what you do.
Okay, that's great. That's a great idea. And it would be kind of nice because this is only for half a year instead of the whole year. So it would give you a little taste rather than, a full commitment. So, all right, Carolyn. Great. Thank you for that suggestion, Anita. And thank you for the consideration, Carolyn. Moving on to number 6, and this I think is something important. Yvonne had sent me an email a while back and mentioned that she was a little uncomfortable with the idea that we pass the basket. And she thought maybe what we could do is say members only instead of having the guests contribute in that way, because that seems like kind of a disadvantage, for a lack of a better way to express it.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I suggested that is because I just feel if we are opening up our club to have visitors come as a guest, and let's say if a guest came and they didn't, for whatever reason, didn't have any money to put into the basket, they weren't prepared, it makes somebody, we don't want to have somebody feel uncomfortable. And so if we're having a guest, I don't think it's that time to like ask somebody or to make them feel uncomfortable that they feel like they have to put something in a basket. So that's why I suggested we do something perhaps ahead of time to where we collect donations to rent the space or to donate to the space for at Unity, just something so it's not kind of in your face for our guests.
And I agree completely, and I'm sure most people in the group do as well. So a couple of things that we could consider doing, and I know I briefly talked about this with Anna, is we haven't done this for a long time, but to, instead of pass the basket, collect dues. So every 6 months when we're paying our dues to Toastmasters International, we could pick a sum, and it could be $6 for the 6 months, or however we decide we want to chop that down. And then we wouldn't pass the basket at all. So that's something we can consider doing, which I think, and I meant to email Anna to ask her what amount we have in our account at this time, to see if we would need to do that at this sign up or maybe wait till the next sign up. So that's something I think might.
I think Carolyn would like to say something.
Yeah, Carolyn, please. Yes, thank you.
I think that's a good idea because I did not know what the basket was. Hadn't been explained to me. So I got the idea after I went to a training that some clubs pay dues.
Okay.
But at the last meeting, Hamid was sitting next to me and I don't think he knew what it was either.
Yeah. Okay.
So just the ahead of time payment might be easier.
Right. So another consideration that I had, and I know we've been one meeting in person and one meeting online, and part of the reason is one person for sure in the club has some medical issues that it's very challenging for her to physically come to a meeting. And so I'm trying to accommodate as many people as possible. But at the same time, I do know I've gotten a little bit of feedback from guests where if it's only in person and they don't like going online, that would make it only one meeting a month that they can participate. So this is not something I want to do right now, but I'm thinking of perhaps in the spring when the weather starts to be nicer, that we might have a discussion around the possibility of turning our meetings to in-person meetings. And I know, Carolyn, one of the reasons you signed up was because you like the idea of the 2 meetings. And I don't know if that would repel you from our meeting or what your feedback is on that. And I'm, please be very honest and open to how you feel about that, because this is not something we're doing right now anyway. So just a little feedback would be helpful.
That is like the main reason I joined this club was I liked the dynamic of each work.
Right.
Because I do have to be online for work. So this is kind of fulfilling both online and in person speaking training that I'm looking for.
Right.
But I know a lot of people may not need that. So in person. I don't know if we're exactly gaining more members because we are hybrid from a membership standpoint. People seem to like the in-person. So from a membership standpoint, that makes sense. For me personally, I like it with the 2 meetings.
Well, let's put it in very blunt terms. If we did shift to that in the spring, would that discourage you from being part of our club?
It might be, yeah.
It might be.
Because sometimes I'm driving from the east side for our meetings. So to do that twice and then like during winter months, I probably
Well, it wouldn't be
making.
We would wait till spring for sure if we were to do that. So it's not gonna be
But
till spring.
when winter came, would you go back to online?
Well, that would be something we would consider as well, maybe 6
Okay.
months and 6 months off. So that might be a possibility as well.
Okay.
Again, that won't be something that we will actually physically do to the spring, because at this point of the year, I think that we'll just leave it as it is, but that's something that I would like to bring up again in the spring. And with that, just to let everybody know, because Carolyn, I'm sure you don't know, we do have to pay $16 per meeting. So if we go to both meetings, that would be $36 a month that would be required with paying for the room. So that would, at that point, if we did do that, I would say we would definitely have to go with, having some dues collected from our club. Okay, and the final one that I might have added after I sent out the email, I'm not sure, is Christine did a speech where she got feedback from the audience in regard to how to improve our website. And one of the things that I know I said, and I think a couple other people suggested as well, was to have pictures on our website. Because to me, when I open up to a website where I see cheery faces, it draws me in. And she has not come forth with that. And I think I've even emailed her a couple times. So that's something I would definitely want to move forward as far as our club website, because to me that seems very helpful and important.
Marianne, are you speaking about individual, our photos, or a club as in general when we have a club and then meeting?
When we
Okay.
open up our website, it's just words.
Yeah.
Whether it's a group picture or maybe we have
Yeah.
a specific activity where we put something on, but something that's real people instead of a blank page with nice words on it. And she does a fabulous job as far
Oh,
as
yeah.
the wording and so on, but I would like to see that personal, picture on.
Connection. I agree. It gives it more of a personalization and it just makes it more real. The actual meeting. I mean, the actual club itself. So I'm on board with that too.
All right, well,
I remember she said that there was, she had to get permissions from everyone. Like everybody has to sign a photo release saying they agree to have their photo put onto the website. Toastmasters has a whole set of rules and regulations about keeping your website consistent with other Toastmasters websites. And that was kind of, I think, what was making her procrastinate or daunting, just to have to. So maybe if somebody helped her with the permissions or doing the paperwork part of it, then she could work on the uploading part of it.
thank
And,
you.
and I could be mistaken, but I think Christine, also, she herself on a personal level, she does not like to have anything online for herself. So that could be another reason why she's not fully invested in that. So,
And I am aware of that, but I think if we, had a large group of membership at a meeting and just asked,
yes.
is everybody okay with their picture online? That we wouldn't even have to go with the sign up and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It
Yeah.
could be very simplified. So
Yeah, because I know we've had like in the past, like when we had our Halloween parties and we were we had it posted on Facebook and District 10 and et cetera. So, and I think we even did it on the website a couple of times, some pictures
we
in the
used to have
past.
pictures all the time on the website. So
Yeah.
okay. Right, I'm going to move into the specific officer roles and see if anybody has anything else that they would like to add. And I'd like to begin with our VP of Ed, Louise.
I just want to see everybody get onto their goals and work their goals. And if you have any questions on pathways, let me know so I can help you. I do have one suggestion too. Looking at the calendar of, because since we meet the 1st and 3rd Thursdays, Wood Warriors meets the 2nd and 4th. We're looking in November. Their 2nd meeting is on Thanksgiving. So how would you say if I get an invitation and give it to them to invite them to come on the 21st to our meeting so we can have a dual club meeting.
I think that would be a great idea. That's something a little different.
Maybe we can get some of them, if they need to do speeches, they can do speeches at our club besides our speakers too.
Okay, I think that's a great idea. Thank
Good
you.
idea, Louise.
Yep.
So I just, that way getting more people into it, that way they don't miss, because nobody's gonna go to the meeting on Thanksgiving Day.
Right. And they
I don't think
might
so.
check with them as well. They may kick up their meeting a week before too. So definitely check with them and see what they.
Yeah, I'm gonna check with Sharon is the VP of Ed, and her mother is the president, so I'll be
Okay.
checking with them, so.
Right, then Christy's not here, so we'll move on to Yvonne. Any ideas or suggestions, Yvonne?
Well, gosh, it's really difficult sometimes with being a VP of membership because it's so hard to come up with ideas, as we were discussing earlier. The only thing that at this point in time, as we were kind of going back and forth with feedback and suggestions, I was starting to think this might overlap into the public relations, but I'm willing to do it. I do know that a while back I did an article for the West, when I lived in Westlake, I did for the Westlake patch, and it was the surrounding communities, and it spoke I spoke about our club and why it's important to have good communication skills, etc. And that's all. You can submit an article for free. So I'm thinking about doing that. And then also on Facebook for the Cuyahoga communities, etc. I've done that in the past where I have advertised for our club. So I'm thinking about doing that. I have not done that this particular time that I've been in the membership, but I have done that in the past. So if you think that's a good idea, I'll proceed with that.
Yeah, I think the more we can get our name out there, the better.
Yeah.
And you actually triggered a memory myself, because in the Westlake, whatever their newspaper is, I used to advertise our meetings in their social calendar, and I haven't done that for a very long time. So because
Okay.
or Zoom, not Zoom, COVID. So getting back on that would probably.
And also, have you ever done memes before? The are people familiar with that piece of paper, and it's got like 4 or 5 pages. It's delivered to the home. It's for free, and it's called Mimi's something. It has the calendar of events for like the next month or so. So I've never done it, but I heard that that's free too. So I can look into that.
Would that be great? Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. But that sounds
Okay. And I think another Toastmasters has done that. I'm not sure which one, but the reason I kind of sparked something is I think I heard it at not this past officer training, but sometime before that, somebody had mentioned Mimi. So I kind of put that in my memory bank. So I'll look into
okay.
that.
Beautiful. I appreciate that.
Is there still the Observer papers out there? Like, there's a Lincoln Observer, like a Bay Village, Westlake.
Oh,
They used to deliver that to the door free, but they don't do it anymore. I think they just
online.
send them out to different stores where you can pick them up, but they are still available.
I'm just curious.
Hey, are you all done there, Yvonne? Those were good suggestions. Thank you.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and then on to Miss Anita, our secretary.
Nothing much to add. I think everybody has good ideas, and I do think that the club will grow. It's just a statistics game, getting out there more, keeping the word out there, and the word is out there. It just takes a certain type of person who wants to do Toastmasters. So eventually they will come. We keep at it. So
And I absolutely agree. Toastmasters is a timing thing.
yeah.
Has to want to get over their fears of speaking more than the concern of fear of speaking. So
Yeah.
I absolutely.
And can I just add that Anita has done an amazing job. You have done an amazing job of being our club secretary. So thank you so much for that,
My
Anita.
pleasure.
You're
Thank
very
you.
thorough, and you're very happy when you do it. You have a positive attitude, And I just want to just give you a lot of kudos for
Oh,
that.
thank you.
So
Thank
great.
you.
She's been a stellar member of this club, and it's sad that you're leaving for a little while, but we'll do our
I'll
best.
still
Very
see you
sad.
guys around. Yeah, no worries.
All right. All right, moving, well, Anna's not here, but she will get a copy of this meeting and hopefully she'll have some feedback. And that brings us to.
Send a copy to
Go
Christine
ahead,
too.
please. What?
Send a copy to Christine.
Oh, yes, I will definitely do that. Yes. And if anybody else wants a copy, I can send it to you too. Okay, Christine, any ideas or suggestions from you?
I don't think she's on.
Carol,
Carolyn, I'm
Oh.
sorry, I said Christine, I meant Carolyn, sorry about that.
Oh, me. No, I don't have any. Something I learned in my training, I can do the tally counting for the speeches and for evaluators is part of my role. So you can just send them over to me every meeting, unless this club has volunteers or they go, I think sometimes to Christine. Every club does something a little bit different.
Okay, great.
I,
Right.
I have something that I've been wanting to say for a while.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring it up at the officer training, but I didn't for whatever reason, but it's in the back of my mind. And I've been thinking about this for a couple of years. Excuse me. It takes a village for everything to run smoothly. So everybody can be a part of the club. And I just feel that not just the officers, but the members should know how our club runs, what goals our club has or should accomplish. And I just feel that maybe one time we can dedicate a meeting to, it doesn't have to be long, but it can be a portion of the meeting where all of the members are a part of what we're doing right now, getting ideas. Because I think that the more we have the members involved, the more we have people giving feedback, they feel more invested in the club. And therefore they understand and they have more, they're willing to maybe perhaps donate, and not donate, but participate in an officer role down the road, et cetera, and they're learning. So that's just something maybe we can think about in the future, just having it be all of the members be a part of this as well for a meeting.
That's a good idea.
Hey, anybody else have anything else? Well, if not, I truly appreciate your time and your support of myself and the club, because as I think it was Yvonne or Anita said, it does take a village, and every one of you contribute in a beautiful way, and I am truly appreciative. With that, okay, just real quick in regard to Rocky River and what was or Westlake Library, I was going to do Lakewood Library as far as connecting with them, and I believe we're going to ask Anna if she would connect with the woman in regard to giving talks there. And you said you would check with Rocky River, Louise, is that correct? Yes. Okay, beautiful. All right, I think we've got it covered, baby. Okay.
We want to do North Olmsted and Fairview as well on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. And were you volunteering or were you just adjusting?
Or am I giving the speech or do I just drop off flyers?
No, if you would just make the connections to see if they would be comfortable with us coming and opening up a time and a room for us to do so. Okay. North Olmsted, and what was the other one you said?
Fairview.
Thank you.
I'm probably just as close to, I'm probably like right in the middle of Fairview and Rocky River libraries.
Well, would you like the two of you, would you like to fight over which one's going to do that?
Louise can do it. I'll go to North Olmsted.
Okay. All right. See, you opened your mouth and now you get to okay, great. All right. Wonderful, ladies. I really appreciate all your help, and we will see you in, well, I guess close to 2 weeks. So,
Okay.
all right. Take care. Have a wonderful.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.